talk, I think, SA.
Thank you so much, President. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I am Toastmaster Pranav, and I would like to welcome you all to the 14th meeting of Vasco Toastmasters Club. Let me make a mention of the three ground rules. First, mute your microphones when not in use and switch off your phones or switch your phones to silent mode. Second, please avoid talking about sex, religion, and politics. Third, if you wish to enter or exit the meeting, do it during applause. Let me start off with our club mission statement. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. I now hand you over to our presiding officer and president, Toastmaster Anthony Gomes. Over to you.
Thank you, Sergeant Dams, and a very good evening to all the members present in today's meeting. As the president of the club, I am overwhelmed with the number of, in recent times, with the number of participants and members from outside our club who have attended our meetings. It's always a pleasure to welcome you all. So again, a special mention to all the members, guests who are joining us who are not part of the Toastmasters Goa Vasco Club, but you're still part of the camaraderie that we share. We have a guest with us today, and that is Ms. Usha Jaiswal. Um, if you could just know a little bit about you, a little introduction, and how did you know about this meeting happening today?
Yeah, hi. You can hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
my name is Usha Jaiswal, and presently I'm working for HFCL Limited, that is in Vienna. And I have graduated from Electronics and Communication Engineering from NIT Goa. And where did I heard this thing? It is like in my college, my friends used to go for this thing, Toastmaster. And then I got excited, but I never thought like I'll join this club or something like this. So recently, 1 year back, I was thinking what I'm doing with my life. So I got idea to join this club. Like I was searching, and I saw some videos of my friends who have actually participated. And they were giving speeches. So I saw them more confident and like more powerful. So that time I had decided I also wanted to do this thing. I also wanted to be more powerful and more excitement. Like, yeah, really something was missing in my life. So that thing I wanted to fulfill. So that's why I searched for this club, and I got this website. I got that number, and finally I contacted. And yeah, like this only I joined.
Great.
Yeah,
It's
thank
really
you.
nice. Your energies are in the right direction, and I wish you all the success for the purpose that you have in mind. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We we also have with us some of our guest Toastmasters who are definitely playing a role, but maybe a line of introduction from them would really help us all to break the ice. We'll have, may I ask, Grammarian Toastmaster Pooja to quickly introduce herself.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Anthony. Uh, well, my name is Pooja Mandavle, and I am into a community club in Aund, which is in Pune, the west side of Pune. I have recently joined Toastmasters, hardly a couple of months ago, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this journey. And when given an opportunity to join some other club, why will I not? Why would I reject? And here I am today.
I think it's a good decision. Please keep coming. Yeah, thank you so much
Sure
for being
thing.
with us. Yes,
Yes.
we
Thank you.
also we also have with us another Toastmaster who is a DTM. He is also playing a role today. Uh, DTM Anil Kumar.
A warm good evening to all sanguine Toastmasters and distinguished guests. This is DT Amal Kumar with you from Bhavan's Toastmaster Kuwait. And today I'm a guest role player for this Sanguine Toastmasters Club, Vasco Toastmaster Club. Wishing you all the best. And let's see how we progress today.
Thank you.
Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I would not take an introduction because this is somebody who is all, I mean, they're all well known to us because they're from the Goa fraternity. I extend a warm welcome also to Toastmaster Pranav Gaikwad and Toastmaster Akshay Bangle. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. So now we would start with the first session. And to go ahead with the session, I'm going to be with you or continue with you, not in the capacity of a president, but of that as a Toastmaster of the day. Now, back to square one. There's always a time in our lives where we have to undergo retrospection. Now, this is a moment which gives us the much needed reality check. In fact, our present may be full of illusions, but it's only when we have moments, difficult moments and moments of reassessment that will bring clarity to us, and we may understand why we are at a crossroad that we are at. In fact, we are lost sometimes and we do not know where we're going. But having this reassessment done, it checks the purpose of the start of our journey. What really motivated us to start this journey? What really motivated us to take the road that we took? In fact, going back to the source brings us the realization and motivation that sometimes we tend to forget throughout our journey. Many of us started our journey as Toastmasters with valid reasons. Some of us are holding on to it pretty well and to that reason that drives us in the right direction. Some of us have lost that motivation or have forgotten what really made us join Toastmasters. And we may, due to this, reach to a saturation point and just not really add value to us. So today, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as we discover Toastmasters and how it has added value to many of the role players that we have with us today, and in doing so, let us go back to our alpha from the omega and arrive at the origins and the start with back to square one. And with this theme being set, I would like to highlight a couple of changes in the agenda. The first being that as per the agenda, we had a Zoom master who was changed from Toastmaster Ashley to Toastmaster Anthony, that's myself. We also have another change, that was the Sergeant at Arms has changed from Toastmaster Ashley again to Toastmaster Pranav. Now, before I go ahead, I would just like to confirm if we have our evaluator one, Toastmaster Abhijit, in the room. Toastmaster Abhijit? Because I've seen a new participant who has joined. Okay, since we do not have a response, and there'll be another change in the flow, in the progression of the meeting, and that is we will have the second section, which is supposed to be the table topics, being done first. Now, for the benefit of the Toastmasters, the guests, and some of us who need a refresher course every now and then, Toastmasters meeting is divided into three parts. First, generally being the prepared speech section. Second, the table topics. And third, the general evaluation. However, sometimes we can turn it around. Obviously, we cannot have general evaluation done first, but maybe one day let's try, why not? But today we will have the table topics session done first. And to go ahead with our journey, we have with us our three very important role players. Now, why very important? It's because these roles sometimes do not get the due credit that one has to give them, because these are the skills that eventually add up into making a Toastmaster or a well-refined Toastmaster. Today, to perform the roles as timer. Now, today's timer has been a new Toastmaster. He's started his journey with the Vasco Toastmasters Club. He he remembers his icebreaker because it brings him this wonderful memories of receiving positive feedback, and that's something that's an integral part of Toastmasters as as a structure, as a unit. He started his journey to enhance his communication skills and eventually to enhance his personality. So, fellow Toastmasters, may I welcome our timer, Toastmaster Saurav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anthony. My role is time. Hello,
Yes.
I'm audible. Yes. My role as timer today is keep all the speakers aware of their timings so that we can run the meeting on time today. So for the first section, for the prepared speech section, the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. And to ensure that, I'll be using these color cards, red, green, and yellow. So at the 5th minute, I'll flash a green card. At at the 6th minute, I'll flash a yellow card over here. Is it visible?
Yes. You give it closer.
Okay. And at the 7th minute, I'll flash a red card. Similarly, for the table topics session, the time allotted is 2 minutes. So at the after 1 minute, I'll flash a green card. At 1.5 minutes, I'll flash a yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I'll flash a red card. And similarly, for evaluation, time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. So after 2 minutes, I'll flash a green card. After that, 2.5 minutes, I'll flash a yellow card. And at the end of 3 minutes, I'll flash a red card. Thank you. I hope everybody speaks on time. And at the end of the meeting, I'll present my report. Over
Thank
to you.
you. Thank you, Toastmaster Saurav. We have a next role player who's now his motivation is to be a confident speaker and to achieve excellence. This Toastmaster's value addition in his life has been manifested and been validated, I'm told, by his friends and all those who know him by the way he carries himself around and the way he interacts with his peers. Trust me, I'm one of them who knows him very closely. I mean, or that's what I assume. So please put your hands together for our counter, Toastmaster Aliro.
Good evening, Mr. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The purpose of an R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause fillers by anyone who speaks during the meeting. During the meeting, I will make note or listen to overused words, including and, well, so, but, and, you know. I will also listen to words including I will also note the speaker who repeats a word or a phrase, such as I, and this means, this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times a speaker used these expressions. What do you, Toastmaster Anthony?
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Aliro. I think I'm in trouble. We have our next role player, a senior automation engineer by profession. Now, she became a part of Toastmasters with the view to improve her speaking skills in order to become an effective orator. She is confident that this journey has been worthy and she has come across as a confident Toastmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, or I should be saying Toastmasters and guests, put your hands together for our grammarian Toastmaster Pooja.
Thank you, Anthony. That was a beautiful introduction, I must say. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and everyone, today my role as a grammarian will be to look after 4 important things. First will be to listen to everything said during our meeting. Next will be to note and report good grammar usage. Next will be to note as well not so good grammar usage. And finally, introducing the word of the day. Now, before I give you the word of the day, I would like to ask a question to each one of you. Why would there be a necessity or need for a grammarian to introduce the word of the day? Can anyone please answer this?
Because word of the day gives weightage, for the speech. It gives weightage.
Sorry?
Word of the day gives weightage to the speech.
Okay. Good
It
enough.
helps us build up vocabulary.
Okay. Correct. So now that we are aware, why do we need a word of the day? Allow me to introduce today's word, which is explicitly. And the meaning of explicitly is clearly or absolutely. I'll give you an example. Teachers and principals love discipline, and it's explicitly seen in the students. Now, anyone who wants to try their hands on this new word explicitly can just go for it. Hello? I was audible, right?
Yes, yes, you were.
Yes.
Grammarian, may I try?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Okay, since the word of the day is explicitly, sometimes the students must be given instructions explicitly so that they avoid any misunderstandings and problems with answering the questions.
Oh, wonderful. I have to clap for this. Good, good, good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, my next question will be, why is there any need for us to use phrases or idioms when we talk, when we give our speech or be it anything? Anyone who knows?
To develop our good vocabulary.
Okay, close enough, because it will again get covered into our word of the day. But for idioms, anything else that
It adds color,
To
it adds
convey-
color and flavor to our speech.
correct?
If I may just add,
Yeah, sure.
well, it brings the aesthetics to the language.
It does, no doubt. Okay, now that we are aware about the phrase or the need of phrase or idiom to be used, I will introduce the phrase of the day, which is to have the time of one's life. The meaning of this is to have fun or to enjoy a lot. I'll give you an example. Being a talkative person, trust me, I am having the time of my life joining Toastmasters. So anyone else who would try?
Doing impromptu speaking session is my time of life for me to volunteer for the table topics.
Okay, great. This was good. All right. Now that we are all aware about our word of the day and phrase of the day, I will request all speakers to use this once in their speech when they are given a chance. And apart from that, to others who are going to listen, I will ask those people to encourage with a thumbs up whenever anyone uses word of the day or phrase of the day. In this way, we can motivate each other as well. And at the end of this, at the end of our meeting, or when I will be called upon, I will give you report of people who have used the word of the day as well as phrase of the day and grammar report as well. And I hope grammar goes well today. And all the best, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pooja. And now it's our time to dive into the different sections of the meeting. Today, we will be starting with the table topic section. And to take us through this journey of table topics, we have with us a vice president membership of this Vasco Toastmasters Club. Now, he has been explicitly making progress by developing his cultural intelligence and pushing his communication skills. He mentions having had this moment of assessing his priorities through self-reflection when he was preparing his icebreaker and having had this journey adding value to his purpose. Surely, uh, Toastmasters is a point where one has a time of their life, but also uh, a moment of self-reflection and knowing where to go. So with this, I welcome our Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Abrar. Toastmaster Brad.
Thank you, Anthony, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, distinguished Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. Table topic section. It helps us improve the art of improvisation and thinking on our feet. It also helps us develop the four vital communication skills: listening, thinking, organizing, and delivering. I have a few topics with me, and in this round, we encourage everyone, not just the Toastmasters. We also encourage our guests and our guest Toastmasters to participate in this section. I hope everybody gives this a shot. Uh, I would just like to remind you all that the green card will be flashed at 1 minute, yellow card will be flashed at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Wait a second. I was just calling out all the butterflies, rats, mouses, and everyone out there, all section. So now you all can give it a shot and let's go. Usually in a table topic section, there is a topic given, but here we have a slight twist. The twist is I will be giving you a topic, and each speaker will have to conclude or end their speech with the topic. For example, Anthony, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So I'll just go again. I will be giving you a topic, and each speaker will have to end or conclude their speech with the topic. For example, Vasco Toastmasters Club is the coolest club. Toastmasters itself is a big family. So how I begin is Toastmasters itself is a big family with all the members, with members all over the world. What really defines a good club? Enthusiasm, fun, and learning. Vasco Toastmasters Club is that family that has smart members like Gopal and Adiro. Funny. That's why Vasco Toastmasters Club is the coolest club. So let's begin. Is there anyone who would like to volunteer?
Hello, yes, it's me.
I
I'll
saw
try my level
Pranav
best.
first.
Am I audible? Am I audible? Because I
Yes,
think I have
Akshay,
net.
you are. Yes,
If my
Akshay, you
network
are.
goes, then I'm sorry, huh? But I'll volunteer. Let us hope for best.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Akshay, your topic is,
Yeah.
hence, I believe the earth is flat. Hence, I believe the earth is flat. Toastmaster Akshay.
Hence, I believe Earth is okay. Earth is flat. Can I go with the other topic, please? Not no idea about this. Can I go with the other? No idea what to say. Any hello?
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. I'll give you
Okay.
another one.
Yes.
Akshay, hence Zoom meeting should be banned. Toastmaster Akshay. Hence Zoom meeting should be banned.
Due to the lockdown, this Toastmasters meeting is always virtual. Sometimes it's in Zoom, sometimes it's in Microsoft Teams, sometimes it's in WebEx. There are many problems which we have to explicitly take care of. Sometimes some people are facing network issues. Some they are not able to hear properly. What to do? There are many apps. As I mentioned, WebEx, Microsoft Teams, even YouTube. And one thing I like to say is these are time of our life to attend. But sometimes because of this network issues, hence Zoom meeting should be banned. What is your opinion, Toastmaster Abrar, in this?
Thank you, Akshay.
Before that timer, I can't hear your voice.
Yes, you qualified.
Yeah.
Thank
Akshay,
you.
we would have all the timings mentioned later. Yeah. Thank you.
I had seen Pranav who had raised his hand. Pranav, would you like to volunteer?
Yes, Abrar.
I'll give you an easy one. Hence, I fell in love with her.
Okay. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. What to say? I saw a girl with round, big, beautiful eyes. She was the first one I saw at my college. And I didn't knew coming to Goa was going to be so memorable because of this first encounter that I had with the very first girl in my college. Now, since you all know, in a new city, it's always better to have friends. And this was an excuse for me to talk to her. So I went and asked, so where are you from? She's like, I'm from Pune. I'm like, oh, I'm from Nasik. We are just so close, neighbors almost. And then one by one, we had not chats, but chatte. If you remember, what's his name? Khan, something, the comedian. If you remember him, he says कि हम तो chat नहीं, chatte करने लग गए थे. So that is how, with time, with getting to know her more also, opening up to her, hence I fell in love with her. So that's how my journey has been. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. That's Zakir Khan. Right. Thank you so much. Oh, over to you.
Pranav.
I forgot that explicitly and this. I mean, these things happen when you talk about the love.
Yes.
Abrar, we cannot hear you if you're speaking.
Anthony, can you hear me?
Yes.
Pranav, that was very nice. We could see how expressive you are. We really hope you will be much more expressive in near future while giving your speeches as well, and not just mentioning about her. Anyone else would like to take a shot? Anyone else? Saurabh?
So takers, let me try.
Okay. DTM Anil. Hence, I want to run away. Toastmaster Anil Kumar. Hence, I want to run away.
Thank you for the wonderful topic, table topping master, Toastmaster Abrar. Warm good evening to all the Toastmasters and distinguished guests on the podium of this virtual podium today. Wow, what a topic. But let me tell a brief on that. Being a Toastmaster, being a distinguished Toastmaster has got its own advantage and disadvantages. You'll all agree with that. 1 second, these people are always disturbing. As long as you are a Toastmasters, there are few expectations from you. The moment you reach the DTM level, the expectations increase exponentially. That was one of the moments I felt, oh, Toastmasters are better. Now, being a distinguished Toastmasters, now I have got a lot of things to do. And the requirements keep on topping up, and you hardly get time for your own self. Somebody will call up in the morning, somebody will call in the afternoon, Nate, till 11 o'clock. I will say till the time you go to bed, you start getting calls for different purposes. Of course, Toastmasters. That was one of the moments I felt I should run away from this Toastmasters. But being a Toastmasters and reaching up to DTM level, the skills and the leadership you inculcate in you, that is embedded in you, will never allow you to run away. Because the more you practice, the more you try your leadership skills, the more better you get. I say, from version 1 to version 2, you try to enhance to version 3. That means there is no running away. Over to Table Topic Master.
Thank you, DTM Anil Kumar. We really hope the enthusiasm is always there in us till we become DTM. We are an amateur club, I would say, and a budding club. Can we have a guest, please? Guest Usha? Would you like to try?
Yeah,
Usha, what's your favorite dish?
I like biryani.
Okay. Usha, your topic is hence I hate biryani. Hence I hate biryani.
No, actually, I love biryani, but the issue is when you go outside and try new varieties of biryani in every hotels and restaurant, so you get different flavors, and you tend to verify which is better and which is not. So last week I had gone to one of the Zipop hotel. So there I tasted biryani, which was so disgusting, and that's why I started hating biryani. Hence, I really hate biryani. I cannot have it anymore. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Usha. We definitely love biryani and we'll ensure that you are always served with the best biryani in town. Now, can we have timer? Do we have time for another topic?
Yes, we can do one more.
Okay. Is there anyone who would like to volunteer?
Table Topic Master, can I take it up? This is Toastmaster Abhijit with you.
Hi, Abhijit. Thank you for joining us. Your topic is hence the earth is flat. Were you there for the introduction?
Not really. I just joined in about a few minutes ago.
So there's a slight twist in the section. What you have to do is you have to conclude with the topic.
Okay.
So the conclusion will be, hence the earth is flat. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. I was small. Not in the case of my height, but I would preferably say it was just 2 years when I faced an incident. An incident of having water getting entered into my bone marrow on my left leg. Things were really not easy. Why? Is because all of a sudden, where a happy-go-lucky guy who was running here and there, who was a small kid who always used to be playful and charming, suddenly stopped walking. Now, this guy was very much admitted into a hospital, and he realized the very fact that he needs to undergo an operation. What kind of dilemma he would have been. Just 2 years, and then this operation, things were topsy-turvy for this guy. And guess what? Suddenly, a very big miracle happened. After a fortnight's time of being admitted into the hospital, every single day, this 2-year boy, old boy's parents coming over and just hearing one single thing every now and then. And that's that in a few days, he will undergo an operation or a surgery. Suddenly, this miracle brought in the spark, brought in the light, and brought in that extra component of happiness in just not him, because although he was just 2 years old and hardly could he understand anything, but also in his parents' face. And that happiness had leaps and bounds. That happiness was a moment of glory to see their only child of 2 years not to go under any operation, because it was a bliss. It was a miracle that happened by all the God's grace. And that instance makes us feel that indeed the earth or the globe is flat. Why? Is because if you see that if it circles round and round, things would haven't changed. It would have come again back to the same position. But now things were normal, things were flat, and which ideally makes me feel and say this, that indeed the globe or the earth is flat. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Back to square one now. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anthony. I explicitly enjoyed hosting this session. Grammarian, I just wanted to ask you one question. Did you hear that I have used the word of the day, which is explicitly?
Of course, yes. I explicitly heard that.
Yeah, I explicitly used it thrice. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Table Topics Master, for stating, for your explicit reasons, for the usage of the word of the day. And I think it may just be an overdose if I continue saying it over and over again. Now, before we go ahead to the next part, that is the prepare speech section, I would like to ask the timer if all the table topic speakers have qualified for the voting.
Hello. Yes. Guest Usha and Toastmaster Abhijit didn't qualify for the table topics. Guest Usha, she took 36 seconds, which is 30 seconds less than qualifying time. And Toastmaster Abhijit took more than 2 minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, timer. Definitely, some people are, some are men and women of less words, and some are of more. We see that in the disqualifications that we have had. But we will have the voting with the 3 qualifying table topic speakers. I request you to please vote for the best table topics speaker. There you go. The poll is up on the screen.
Anthony, what is this is Toastmaster Abhijit. What is the total time that I took?
Yes.
If timer can help me out with.
Yes. Timer, you're muted.
2 minutes, 2 minutes, 15 seconds.
So that qualifies, I guess, because 30 seconds is the grace which is given to the speakers for the table topics.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think we will take that since we have the voting done. We will have a revote done. Okay, because why not? We do correct our mistakes. Thank you so much.
No, that's absolutely.
Yeah. Now we will go to the next part of our meeting, and that is the prepared speech section. For the benefit of the guests, the prepared speech section is where we have the members speaking with an objective set by the speech or the path that they have chosen into this journey. And today we have 2 speakers. The first speaker is someone who joined Toastmasters with a view of improving his skills of networking and communication. Toastmasters started profiting from the various sessions held by the experienced Toastmasters. So we have our first speaker today, Toastmaster Gopal. Now, before Toastmaster Gopal goes ahead with his speech, I would request his evaluator, who was the first runners-up at the Table Topics Division Contest 2020, who has also who started his journey with a vision of overcoming fear. And this business analyst has surely gained through his involvement in Toastmasters. I request our evaluator, first evaluator, Toastmaster Abhijit, to read out the speech objectives of a speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm here to evaluate Toastmaster Gopal's speech, who's delivering the first level second speech, which is evaluation and feedback from his pathways chosen, which is dynamic leadership. The purpose of the project is for him to deliver a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and implement that feedback onto the second speech. This being the first speech which Toastmaster Gopal is delivering, it is for him to receive feedback from the evaluator. Timer, please keep note of the timing. The timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Wishing Toastmaster Gopal all the very best for his speech. And with that, over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Yes. So yes, Toastmaster Gopal, learning and experiment with change. Learning and experiment with change, Toastmaster Gopal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anthony. Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I visible?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and guests. It all started in the year 2020 Jan. I underwent a minor surgery in January 3rd week of 2020, and I had ample time to spare. And I was enjoying my vacation on the bed. I started watching the news channels and following the news rigorously. So that point of time, one news which was appearing in all the news channels was new virus in China. Initially, it started in a city called Wuhan. So I was wondering that, because it's happened in China and they would easily contain. Gone Jan, gone Feb, gone March, the virus has spread across the world. And, in India also, we had series of lockdowns. And in the month of March, we had first lockdown, which was announced for 3 weeks. I was sitting on the balcony on the second day of lockdown, and my house has a beautiful sea view. So on that day, I was sitting in the balcony and, looking at downstairs. There were 3-4 people, young fellows, and, they reached that waterfront and they started enjoying on the lockdown period. Immediately, police came within 5 minutes and they pounced on them. Literally, they were chasing these people. I was so horrified. And I did not cross my apartment for the next few days. Even I did not dare. So as every epidemic, as every disaster teaches us some learnings, COVID also taught me some learnings. For me, there are 3 learnings out of this whole episode. Learning number 1, we can survive with very little. On the day when the lockdown was announced, I was searching my ration. How many days I can survive? There is enough of dal, there's enough of chawal, and some perishable goods like vegetables and milk that would last for 3-4 days. So I have calculated all these things. I thought that happily I can survive for next few days. As the lockdown eased down, we started getting the things. Just I want to ask you one question. How many of you like cabbage? Many of you would say no. But I hate cabbage. I don't like cabbage. But when the lockdown was slowly lifting, we didn't have any choice. I only got cabbage on that day. I cooked cabbage and it was so nice. First time in my life, cabbage tasted so much. So there are some needs and wants. Needs are the ones which we continue. We like our dal, our chawal, the basic necessities. These are the needs. There are some wants, like for me, pizza or going to a restaurant. These are the wants. So in our life, we balance between these needs and wants. So that's lesson number one. The second lesson I learned in the COVID situation is family is above all. I stay alone in Goa because of my kids' education. My family is located at Hyderabad. So once in fortnight, I travel between Goa to Hyderabad. When the lockdown was announced, I was a little bit tense. I don't know how many days there was total travel restriction. When this travel ban is going to end up, I had no idea. 1 month gone by, 2 months gone by, 3 months gone by. Every day I used to call my family. We used to interact with over WhatsApp or these video calls. That's fine. But still the physical presence, meeting people, meeting the loved ones, that gives us a different kind of confidence. I was missing all these things for almost 3 months. On the other hand, in my profession, I wear a different hat. I'm the safety head for this company. So I strongly advocate not to travel. This is contradictory. On one side, I'm telling everybody not to travel. On the other side, my family is stuck up at different place. I desperately want these travel restrictions to go out and I want to see my family. Finally, with God's grace, after 4.5 months of waiting period, I got a chance, to bring my family back. And they underwent all these tests and finally they were back in Goa. The day I received them in the airport, that was the happiest day in my life. And we enjoyed for 5 months, thanks to COVID again, because there was, the classes were virtual, no classes. My kid did not to go to the school. They stayed with me for 5 months. That's blessing in disguise. So family is above all. That's lesson number 2. Lesson number 3 I learned is change is imminent. We can't avoid the change. Now let us look at some of the changes which COVID brought. Earlier, these thermometers and thermal guns, where we used to see in the doctor's hand. Now today, security personnel, most of them, they have become doctors. They are checking the temperature. And we keep on hearing new words. Quarantine, how many times we used in our life? Hardly any time. Now, quarantine, this lockdown, these are the new words which added into our dictionary. And of course, virtual meetings. How many of us know virtual meetings? This is a new change. All these changes helps us in improving our skills. And even for me also, being my profession as safety, I have to learn a lot of things. Every day I read a lot about COVID, how it is changing, how it is impacting. Then accordingly, I was preparing the rules for the company. And when I look back, sometimes it looks funny to me. In the initial days, I said, don't wear mask. After that, I said, no, wear mask. These all, continuous change. So my learning and my experience, I would say one thing, learning and improving is the only thing in the life which makes us better and better. Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Gopal. May I request all of us to maintain a minute of silence? And in that time, the evaluator will be making notes. And I request the other members to provide feedback to a speaker. do write a private message on Zoom to our speaker. The feedbacks definitely help. And now we move on to our second speaker. This speaker of ours joined Toastmasters with the motivation or with the reason of connecting with open-minded people and to add to her personal public speaking competency. Now, it has been quite evident and of her involvement within the club and outside the way she takes up roles and really performs them. So she has a time of her life performing these roles, and it's a pleasure every time we see her. So our second speaker is Toastmaster Shivani Kenny. And to evaluate her, we have a well-crafted communicator and leader, a Toastmaster who was the first double triple crown winner and the first DTM from his club. Again, he has many accolades to his credit. Fellow Toastmasters, please help me welcome DTM Anil Kumar, who will read out the speech objectives of our speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Day, Toastmaster Anthony Gomes, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening to one and all. Today, Toastmaster Shivani Kenny is embarking on her project number 2A, level 1 of Innovative Planning Path. Her speech will be timed and it will be 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of her speech is to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. The purpose of her project is to present a speech, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to the second speech. The title of her speech is Relabel. Relabel by Toastmaster Shivani Kenny. All the best to you.
Toastmaster Shivani Kenny? Yes.
Yes.
All good? Yeah, you're visible as well. Yes. Toastmaster Shivani Kenny, relabel. Relabel Toastmaster Shivani.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Shivani Kenny. I will be turning 25 this year. And my only regret is that I have never taken part in sports. In my 25 years, I have never been in any physical activities. And I really regret that now. To tell you honestly, I don't even understand the popular sports like cricket or football. How do you know all players look the same on the ground? I really don't understand football. Back in my childhood, I thought that I look really funny when I run. And because of that mindset, I believed that I was not meant for any sports or adventure sports. I had it in me. I had labeled myself as non-adventurous. But I guess universe had its plans. On 31st December 2020, I climbed the Kedarkanta mountain in Uttarakhand. Having an elevation of 12,500 feet, which is as much as 4,000 meters, it takes 3 days to climb the mountain and 3 days to come down. And I did that. I spent 6 days trekking in the snowy area. Kedarkanta is located in Sangri village of Dehradun. It snows almost throughout the year in Dehradun. And especially in winters, the temperature varies from 0 degrees in the day to negative 10, 12 at night. Yes, it was all very new and discomforting for me at first. Luckily, I had 6 of my friends with me who are also exploring this new journey. Our trek started on 29 December. The first day, we started from the village and we trekked around 7 kilometers to reach to our first base camp. It took 6 to 7 hours to complete that. Well, I took 8 hours or more than that to complete the 7 hours. I wasted most of my time falling on the melting snow. My confidence had gone down to 0. I had proven myself that I'm not meant for it. I decided to quit after the first day. I thought I should go back to Goa. I should go back to my comfort zone. But there was something which kept me moving. There was something which told me that the fact that I have come here all the way from 2,000 kilometers, I shouldn't just run away after 7 kilometers. Hence, I kept going. The next day, the trek was of 4 hours and covering almost 4 kilometers. I was dedicated and super motivated to finish the trek on time or even before time. And I finished the second day trek in 3 hours. I was proud of myself. I was one of the first ones to reach the base camp on the second day of trek. The same day at night, we started our trek for the summit. So the aim was, we started the summit at 2 a.m. midnight, and the aim was to reach the summit or the mountain peak by the sunrise. So technically, we saw the last sunrise of 2020 from the summit. Hooks or by crooks, I finished my summit by 7 a.m. in the morning. We started at 2 and I reached at 7 on the summit. I did not get to see the sunrise. The sunrise happened around 6:30, 6:20. I didn't get to see that. But I definitely got to see myself rising. I had tears in my eyes when I reached the summit, when I saw the mountain ranges around me, when I could feel the breeze and I could see the sun at the same time. I couldn't believe that I did it, that I had accomplished the impossible. Well, the journey did not end there. The next day, we started our journey of climbing down. And oh my gosh, climbing down is much more difficult than going on top. But somehow, I made my peace with this difficulty. I learned that I did not want to be in the competition of coming first. I did not want to be the first one to reach down. Instead, I wanted to admire the scenic beauty, observe, be in the present moment, and maybe fall even more. This journey between the mountains taught me many things about myself and about life in general, and I would really love to share them with you. My first learning. My first learning is that life is great without smartphones. Trust me on this. 6 days of no network made me introspect at many levels. It made me enjoy the present moment without comparing it with anyone else, which we usually do on social media. That's the major learning. Second learning, don't give up. Now, I know we always hear people saying this, don't give up, keep trying. It's very easy to say, but it's very difficult to actually follow it. Well, in trekking, you see a live example of not giving up. In trekking, you see everyone fall, but you also see them get up and fight back with the same level of confidence. And which is great and a biggest learning which I had, don't give up. Third, never hesitate to ask for help. Helping is contagious. Only when you get help will you be able to give help. Similar to kindness. I spend most of my time saying, "Bhaiya zara haath de do, gir gayi, ya kuch lag gaya, zara haath de do." I spend most of my time helping, asking for help, and because of that, I was also able to give help. Fourth learning, enjoy the journey. Mountains are beautiful, so is nature, and so is life. In the competition of coming first in class, getting promoted, or earning more money, we forget to enjoy the process or the journey in which we are. And this is something I learned when I was climbing down from the mountain. Fifth learning, be grateful. Between the -10 to -14 degrees, with 5-6 layers of clothes and an uncomfortable sleeping bag, will make you realize how grateful you should be for the humid climate of Goa. No matter what it is here in Goa, you will be grateful for that. If you go in the -10 degrees and in the sleeping bag, this is something I realized. Apart from this, one of my major learning is about myself. For a very long time, I had labeled myself as not a sports person, non-adventurous. I won't be able to do this. I look funny when I run, and all those things. After the trek of 6 days, I relabeled myself as someone adventurous, someone who is ready for opportunities, and someone who will be great even if she tries sports. I had to go out of my comfort zone to relabel myself. If I hadn't gone outside or if I hadn't tried anything new, I would be stuck with the same old concept which I have about myself. And that's my major learning. If you want to learn something, if you want to break your limits, you have to if you want to break your limits, you need to go outside your comfort zone and relabel yourself. You are much more than what you know. I believe I can climb Mount Everest or I can also land on the moon if I wish to do so. And maybe one day I will climb Mount Everest and prove myself wrong. So after this, I really relabeled myself, and now I can see a different self and different sense of confidence. That's it from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster Anthony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivani. We will now have a minute of silence for the evaluator to make his notes and for all of us to provide Toastmaster Shivani with feedback. Well, thank you. And with this, we come to the end of the prepared speech section, a section where we have prepared speeches from the manual and the part that a member has chosen. Well, now before I hand the session to the next role player, may I request the timer to identify and tell me if both the speakers, if they have qualified for the voting.
Yes, both the speakers qualified.
Thank you. Thank you, Timer Toastmaster Saurav. We will now have the voting for the best speaker. I will have the poll up here. And there you go. Please vote for the best speaker. Thank you. So we have our best speaker. I would now request myself to conduct the voting for the best table topic speaker. We had a slight error, and we rectify that with all humility. And we now launch the poll of the best table topic speaker. There you go. Those who haven't voted, kindly vote. Okay. Thank you. So with this, we come to the end of the prepared speech section. And now to take us with understanding what we have done right and what we have done wrong, we have with us a student, she's presently a student of Human Resource Management and also the secretary of Bhaskar Toastmasters Club. Now, she has drafted and delivered speeches which I have personally loved. Her jovial nature, her confidence, and the cheerful voice, it definitely brings joy to all the role that she executes. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests, please put your hands together for our general evaluator, Toastmaster Eden N.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Anthony. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. This is the evaluation portion of our meeting. I'm sorry for the lack of video, but I don't have currents right now, and that's the issue. First, we will have the evaluation for the prepared speeches given today by two of our speakers. Then I will give my general evaluation of the overall meeting. Each speech evaluator will speak for about 2 to 3 minutes. Our first evaluator is Toastmaster Abhijit evaluating Toastmaster Gopal's speech, that is learning and experimenting with change. Over to you, Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests who have joined in. And a good evening to Toastmaster Gopal, who is waiting for a change to happen because he is stuck in the office right now. Well, that's not the point of my evaluation. My point of evaluation is straight away jumping about the learnings which Toastmaster Gopal took us in terms of his journey to the entire COVID time that we all witnessed. 8 to 9 months of our time, and we were all locked down. We were all stuck in our respective homes. There have been instances where we planned to meet our family members, but we couldn't. And Toastmaster Gopal did a very rightful explanation of how he structured his entire speech. So here are a few points which made his speech really, I would say, really emphasizing on the very fact that it was a great learning and experimenting with change. Number one, the entire structure. From the 0th second till the last second that Toastmaster Gopal utilized in terms of delivering a speech was something phenomenal, because the entire structure was of like a story. Personal anecdotes were being used. So this is something which is very much important for any speaker to highlight during a speech. Toastmaster Gopal, congratulations on bringing that element of having proper structure in your speech. Number two, you related with the audience, grabbing their attention through a narration of a very relatable instance, which is COVID. Each one of us at some point in time, in some capacity, did witness some kind of happenings in our lives in that last 8 to 9 months in 2020, and it's still continuing. So that is something which you correlated with the audience attention. And number three is a message. Every speaker, whenever you deliver a speech, has to have a message. As to why? Because the audience is there to understand what is in for me. The speaker is delivering, but I'm going to give time to the speaker. So what exactly I am getting? So message out of the entire speech is very much important to make sure that the audience understands and has a key takeaway. However, this was your first speech of the evaluation and feedback. A couple of recommendations which I would like to say is that there was an instance where you had a rhetorical question being asked to the audience as to, do you like cabbage, or this is the case. So if that would have been the case, it didn't really seem as if like it was a question. So if you're asking a question, you should frame it. Do you like cabbages? See, this is how it is. The entire speech was seemingly flat. Had you made use of the ups and the lows in your entire speech while delivering, it would have been more great and better in terms of keeping the audience hooked, because audience is here to hear, sitting in this virtual platform to hear your speech, right? And so in that way, when you're delivering a speech, the highs and the lows does make an impact. So if that is the case, if said, okay, my fellow Toastmasters, you know, my wife and my kid, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that is how you can make a strong impact when you are delivering the speech. Overall, a speech which I love to hear because it was relatable and it made a very big impact in the minds of the audience, because there was a learning and there was an experimentation. All the very best for your next speech. And with that, over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhijit. Our second evaluator is DTM Anil Kumar, evaluating Toastmaster Shivani's speech, which is relabel. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Anil Kumar.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Your hardest time often leads to the greatest moment of your life. And today, Toastmaster Shivani Kenny emphasized on this through her explicitly delivered speech titled Relabel. Now, as an evaluator, I often look at the things which I can relate to and what are my take-home messages. So here they are. What are the things I like about her speech? The first and foremost, the confidence and clarity of delivering a speech. See, just second speech in your pathways, and I could feel that confidence level was as if she had achieved a DTM. Congratulations to you for such a delivery with such a confidence. The second thing what I liked, we all know, smile is contagious. And the speaker is blessed to have a great smiling face. That is her USP. And she used it to her maximum advantage. She loves nature, and that was very much evident throughout her speech. She painted a canvas with the vivid images of her trekking, and that through extreme climates, extreme geographical conditions, and long trekking. Very well described. Another thing which I liked about her speech was the lesson she learned and she shared with us with a full confidence, and not 1 and 2. There were total 6 numbers. Wow, that was something totally different from the speeches I had heard before. The third and the last one is she justified in her speech why she chose to title her speech as Relabel. Using all the anecdotes she had in her speech, I will say that yes, she connected her complete speech to the speech title. Well done. Now, any great speech will have some areas of improvement. That's very, very important. And that is a take-home message from an evaluator to a speaker. Here comes the 3 recommendations which I would like to give to our speaker, Toastmaster Kenny. The first one is, we need to pause in the speech at the very strategic points where you want to emphasize something. I would appreciate you to practice this pause. Second, the vocal variety. Whenever you have any emotions, we can use the vocal variety to the maximum benefit. You had a number of instances wherein you could use this emotion, especially when you are happy, when you reach the summit, when you are supposed to rescind from the summit. There is another time you felt that, oh, it is going to be very difficult. So you had that opportunity which could you have used to maximum benefit. The third one, which I strongly recommend you, you are a great speaker, but if you employ a mentor to bring out the best in you, I am very much confident nobody can stop you from becoming the world champion of public speaking. To summarize, the confidence, clarity of speech, the great smile, and a few things that you could improve is the vocal variety and utilizing a mentor. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anil Kumar. We will now have the voting for the best speech evaluators. Toastmaster Anthony, could you please put up the poll?
Yes, it's right there.
Toastmaster Anthony, can we have the timing for both the speeches?
Yes, evaluator, we will have all the timings mentioned when the timer will give the report.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. Well, thank you. That was the voting that we have had. Yes, General Evaluator.
Okay. Next, we have the tag team providing their reports. They each have 2 to 3 minutes. I now call upon the timer, Toastmaster Saurav, to present his report. Over to you, Toastmaster Saurav.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good evening again. I want to congratulate everyone for being explicit about the timings. And also, I had time of my life playing this role because asking somebody to stop talking is one of my guilty pleasures. I wish I could use cards in my everyday life to tell them when I'm done listening to them. Here's my report for the table topics. Toastmaster Akshay took 1 minute. Toastmaster Gaikwad took 1 minute 45 seconds. DTM Anil Kumar took 1 minute 58 seconds. Toastmaster Abhijit Roy took 2 minutes 14 seconds. Toastmaster Gopal took 7 minutes 10 seconds, and Toastmaster Shivani Kenny took 7 minutes 30 seconds. And for the evaluation, both the evaluators have qualified. Both took 3 minutes and 30 seconds for the evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. I now call upon the R counter, Toastmaster Aliro, to present his report. Over to you, Toastmaster Aliro.
Good evening all. So here's the R counter report. We'll start with Toastmaster Pranav. I counted 3 R's and repetitive words was what and with. We have Toastmaster Anthony, who had 11 R's and repetitive words was in, our, the, and moments. We have our guest Usha Jaiswar, who had 5 R's, 1 and repetitive words I found was with and I also. We have Toastmaster Pooja, who had 5 R's. We have Toastmaster Saurabh, who had 8 R's. Then we have Toastmaster Abrar, who had 5 R's and repetitive words like with, okay, there is. We had Toastmaster Akshay. Okay, he's the winner. He didn't have anything. No R's, nothing. And we have Toastmaster Abhijit, who had 1 R, and he had a repetitive words like there is and here. And we have Toastmaster Gopal, who didn't have any R's, but he used repetitive words like and, but, and so. And we have Toastmaster Shivani Kenny, who had only 4 R's, and she used the repetitive words helping. Then we have Toastmaster Iran, Vijit, and Anil Kumar, the DTM, who didn't have any filler words or anything with that. Good. That's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aliro. And finally, we have our grammarian, Toastmaster Pooja, who is going to give her report. Over to you, Toastmaster Pooja.
Thank you. Thank you, evaluator. Well, to begin with, I had time of my life today. As grammarian here. I would start with people who have used the word of the day. It was Anthony, Abrar, and Anil Kumar as well. And also a timer. Then phrase of the day was used by Anthony only. Then coming to not so good grammar usage, there was someone who said tasted so much, could have replaced with tasted list or with this was resolution. There were little unnecessary article usages before nouns like a and the. We can replace them. We can avoid such article usages. There were plenty of good grammar. There was plenty of good grammar. For example, from alpha to omega, progression, enhance, manifest, art of improvisation, slight twist, virtual podium, accolades, jovial, and a good escape when a speaker who fell in love forgets to use word of the day and word of the day as well. Apart from that, regarding pronunciations, somebody said tracking instead of tracking. It might happen because of first language effect. And for that, there's a suggestion of using Sicily Berry app. I would like to share the link with people here after the meeting. Everyone can use it. And that's all from my side. Over to you. Thank you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pooja. Now it is my time for my evaluation. I must say I have been away for quite a long time, and I definitely have missed the fellowship of this club before we start the meeting. The dedication and the enthusiasm that all our members show is much appreciated and something I can really take to my heart. Now for the evaluation, before the meeting started at 6:36 p.m. Sorry, the meeting was opened at 6:36 p.m. The meeting started exactly at 7 o'clock. And that is something I really love about our club is everybody is so prompt that the meeting has to start at 7 sharp. The presiding officer, Toastmaster Anthony, welcomed everyone to the meeting. He welcomed our guests mainly and introduced everybody correctly and properly. When it comes to the theme, Toastmaster Anthony, his theme was back to square one. You explained the theme so well, and it made me realize that I definitely have been slacking in my role as a Toastmaster in this club. You introduced the role players very well, and I admire how calm and relaxed you look while handling your role, and you've definitely taken up 2 roles today, and I admire you for that. The grammarian, Toastmaster Pooja, she introduced the word of the day explicitly and got everyone engaged in trying to make us all use the word and use the word of the day. It really felt like a grammar class, and that's something I really like. It was different and good job. The timer and the hour counter, both of you introduced your roles very well. My only suggestion would be to maybe introduce it with the theme or make it unique in your own particular way. Something, just make it unique, however you can. Now, due to a little bit of a change in the agenda, we had the table topics first, which was conducted by Toastmaster Abrar. Toastmaster Abrar, as usual, you are just a delight to watch. Thank you for introducing a new twist to table topics. I always enjoy watching table topics more than taking part. So thank you for introducing this new twist. Then we had the prepared speech segment where our evaluators gave their, our speakers gave their speeches and then our evaluators evaluated them. Toastmaster Abhijit, you picked up on a lot of points that your speaker gave, Toastmaster Gopal, and presented them with a lot of enthusiasm, and it seemed very natural. The use of your 3 points to explain what you saw and was something I picked up on. I'm sure we can all take back whatever you said, not just Toastmaster Gopal, but all of us can take from whatever you have suggested to Toastmaster Gopal. You've used the sandwich method perfectly. Next, we had distinguished Toastmaster Anil Kumar. I honestly don't think I can evaluate someone with your caliber. Actually, I can, but I don't think that I can give you any suggestions. I can just say that I aspire to be like you soon in my journey as a Toastmaster. And with that, I would like to end the general evaluation session and hand over to the presiding officer or the president, Toastmaster Anthony. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for that calm, composed, yet very enriching feedback through your role. And now, before we go ahead to the closing, I would be launching the poll for the best major role player and the minor role player. So in the major role players, we had the Toastmaster of today, that is myself, Toastmaster Anthony. Table Topics Master was Toastmaster Abrar. General Evaluator was Toastmaster Edenin. In the minor roles, we had Toastmaster Saurav, who was the timer. Our counter was Toastmaster Aliro, and our grammarian was Toastmaster Pooja. So here I launched the poll. Please vote for the best major and minor role players. We'll wait for a few more seconds. If you haven't voted, please do so. Okay, and thank you. We have our votes. And before going ahead with explicitly listing out the winners, I would request our guests who are not from Basket Toastmasters, but definitely who were interested in being with us today, to give us a little bit of feedback as to what you liked about the meeting or what you noted with the way we conduct ourselves. It would really add value to how we would improve in the future. So may I request our guest, somebody who is not a Toastmaster yet, Ms. Usha Jaiswal, to please unmute, put on a video, and tell us how you felt about the meeting.
Yeah, hello. You can see me?
Yes.
Yeah. The most important and best part I could feel is the involvement. People were really involved, and they were basically, I like the grammatical person. She has corrected so many things, and I was wrong. And I felt like, yeah, she has corrected me. And really, it was really helpful for me. And first, initially, when I had decided I'll join this club, that time I was little bit nervous. I didn't know whether I am going to do this thing or not, but now I have decided I'll surely join this group, I mean this club, because I'm going to get so many learnings from each and every person. I'll get to improve myself. And there are many people who are really encouraging, especially Keni, Shivani Keni. Um, uh, I'll tell you my little bit personal story. I'm in the stage where I have decided I'll give up. Like actually, basically, I'm searching a job in Mumbai. So since so many months, I'm trying, but I'm not getting. So then I had decided I'll give up. But then I listened this Keeney speech. I was really motivated, and I thought like, if she decided not to give up, then why should I give? Like she has relabeled herself, then I should also do something really better. And yeah, and the way this session has begun and the session is ending, I really like Mr. Abrar, the way he has conducted his table, yeah, table, yeah, like when the topic he gave, um, this, the girl I fell in love, something, and that time I was simply smiling like these topics are also allowed, and I was like literally like what people can say about this thing, and Mr. Pranav, yeah, Mr. Pranav, he spoke, and the expressions he made that were really nice, and like felt like looking, and like it was nice, I could say that. And each and every member over here are really supportive, and each and everyone has given me some motivation, and I'm really thankful that I've been given this opportunity. And yeah, thank you all.
Thank you, Usha. It was really wonderful. And it's nice to know that with the little things that we do, it definitely touches everyone in different ways. And welcome to the club already. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. I would now request our guest role player, DTM Anil Kumar, to give us a little bit of reality check.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. In fact, I've got a big list which I don't feel I should discuss at this time because we are still in the meeting. However, I could summarizely say, yes, I really enjoyed this meeting. You people have got a lot of energy. I could see that interest to do something better. I could see the way the speakers listening to their evaluators very carefully, which means they are interested in improving. They are interested in seeing their new version. This is something I really like. I like the way the whole meeting was arranged. Although you had some hiccups, you have some obstacles, but you did manage. A few technical things are there which I would request the Toastmaster Day, who is also a club president, that we can take up this with the only Vasco Club Toastmasters members after the meeting. It may take just 10 minutes. That's my summary. And I would definitely visit your club once again. Now, since I've evaluated Toastmaster Shivani's speech, that was 2A. That means I need to also see her improvement in 2B. I hope to receive your invitation for your next meeting and whenever she delivers her next speech. Over to you.
Surely, thank you so much. It's really nice to hear feedback that adds value and puts us in the right direction. May I request now another guest Toastmaster, Toastmaster Abhijit, to give us your views about the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anthony, and special thanks to the entire club for giving me the opportunity. Especially, I'm not sure whether Toastmaster Vishal is also in the meeting. But having said that, a great meeting to be part of. The reason why I would like to mention why great is because the number of members who joined for this meeting were very much limited. It was like about a 14 to 15 people crowd. And as we all know, there are too many cooks spoil the broth. And I've seen that happening, that we always focus on quantity sometimes and not on quality. Here, the number of members were less. The meeting was productive and it went well with proper time management, with all the role players playing the roles perfectly well. And I think this couldn't have been a better meeting I would have been a part of. But I would also like to state that it was my heartfelt apologies to the president and the club that due to some I took up the role because I was wondering that I wouldn't be in a position to go to the office, but unfortunately I was being called on, and this is a habit that in my 3.5 years of Toastmasters journey, I have never ever declined a role which I have committed to. Hence, I was in a position not to say a no, but having said that, there were last minute glitches, and obviously as a club, you had to shift the prepared speech to the second segment and move the table topics in the front. But I think this only can happen from the leadership, from the entire team who can really understand the sentiments of the people. And I really would like to thank the entire club for that. Special thanks to Anthony, who was very much in touch with me that are you joining? I said, you have my commitment and I'll be in that position. And unfortunately, it's raining cats and dogs in Mumbai around this time. So that was also something which is very unexpected, but great. Really love this meeting. And as DTM Anil Kumar did say that he is going to come back to again evaluate Toastmaster Shivani. So it also gives me an opportunity to come back and evaluate Toastmaster Gopal's second speech. So whenever Toastmaster Gopal is delivering his second speech, Anthony and the Vice President Education, please don't forget to invite me again so that I can be in that position to understand which are the areas where Toastmaster Gopal has implemented. But to keep it very conclusion, I think really great meeting and love to come back again to Vasco virtually.
Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you for giving us this clarity on things. Sometimes we need it. Okay, we do get disillusioned sometimes with the way we do things, but when somebody validates it and says, "Okay, this is what was done right," it definitely motivates us all. Last, before we go to adjourning the meeting, we have with us a grammarian who, was a guest role player. Just Master Pooja, a quick feedback.
Sure. Thank you, Anthony. The overall meeting conduction and everything was amazing. And I have to say, I took up the role for grammarian, but what I felt is grammar was already through the roof. I felt like, why am I even judging here? People are so good at grammar. There was nothing that I had to, comment about not so good grammar thing. But ultimately, I had to dig something, and I just said, okay, there was some unnecessary usage of article, and everyone played their roles well, and overall the meeting was also good. And if ever I have no plans for my Friday nights, I will definitely join this meeting. And if possible, can you please reschedule this Friday meetings to some other day? It will be easier. That's all I would say. Nothing
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Pooja. Duly noted, and we will take it up with our club.
Sure.
Finally, before we end, we have Satish Kumbar. He joined in the middle, but definitely would like to hear maybe a line or two, if you would agree.
Am I audible, Anthony?
Yes, you are.
Thank you very much. And I believe after a long time, I've been signing up with you guys. I think almost 2 months before I had got an invitation from Abrar and I had joined this session. And then later on, I tried many times to join. But due to XYZ reasons, I was not able to join. But today I made it a point. And if I don't know, because everybody's sitting right now in their houses, if it's raining outside very heavily. Does anybody know about it? I don't believe so. Yeah, it rained very heavily in Goa today. We had a heavy rainfall in Ponda, Panjim, Bambolim, because I work in Bambolim. So it took time for me to leave from there because I was riding. So I had to wait till the rain comes down. So the moment rain stopped, I started my bike and I came running. The moment I reached home, I freshened up and then I opened and I sat away to see some beautiful people sitting and such lovely talks. I missed out many of the part, but I joined the moment when Shivani was giving her topic about her experience, and Mr. Roy, I believe, who was talking about all his experience, what he spent in COVID, and the realization what everybody has realized what we can do and what we could not do. This COVID has taught us, and overall, it was a lovely experience for today. Thank you very much, and I look forward to join this session again.
Yes, thank you, Satish. Yeah, we also look forward to having you as maybe a member. Why not?
Thanks a lot. Thanks
Yes,
a lot.
thank you. Well, it's my privilege now to really appreciate and validate the efforts that we all have put in as the role players. And to do that, it's now that we will have the awards. So this is the time you can forget all the rules which were told by, not all actually, some of the rules which were heralded by the SA, and unmute yourselves, put your videos on, because we will need claps, we need some motivation there. So the first award is for the best speaker. And through your votes, we have Toastmaster Shivani Kenny, who is being voted as the best speaker. Congratulations, Toastmaster. The next is the best speech evaluator. In the best speech evaluator, through your votes, we have DTM Anil Kumar, who is the best speech evaluator. Round of applause. Congratulations. As the best table topic speaker from all the speakers that we have had, through the votes, we have our best table topic speaker, and that is Toastmaster Abhijit Roy. Congratulations. The best major role player is Toastmaster Abrar Sayed for Table Topics Master. Congratulations, Toastmaster Abrar. And finally, in the best minor role player, we have Toastmaster Pooja, who was the grammarian. Congratulations, Pooja.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And yes, one certificate that I haven't put up, but the best participant is all of you. So please, congratulations. Thank you. And we hope to continue with this positivity and camaraderie that we share. So with this, we come to the end of today's session. We are dot on time. It's 2040 by my clock and also by the agenda. Our next meeting is going to be on 5th March 2021. With this, I, as the president, officially adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.